From credit to slavery, how debt steals your freedom. In today's world, loans and mortgages have become a part of life for many people. We begin to perceive them as an integral part of the financial landscape. Banks offer tempting conditions, promising that with a loan, one can quickly improve their life. But in reality, all of this is just an illusion of happiness. Behind these enticing offers lies something much more frightening: debts, stress, and loss of joy and inner freedom. Advertisements proclaim a loan on the best terms, low interest rates for everyone. But in reality, they do not mention hidden fees, insurance charges, and increased interest rates in case of delays. In the end, the overpayment can be several times higher. Therefore, my dear, loan and mortgage advertisements should not be trusted. Research in the fields of psychology and medicine has shown that loans and debt burdens can have a serious impact on a person's physical and mental health. Constant worry about money causes chronic stress, and stress, as is well known, is one of the main factors contributing to the development of numerous illnesses. People living in a debt trap are more likely to suffer from cardiovascular diseases, depression, and nervous system problems. Financial stress is not limited to physical health. It also affects personal relationships. People unable to cope with their debts often become irritable and anxious, leading to conflicts with loved ones. When all attention is focused on repaying a loan, simple human joys, such as walks in the fresh air, dancing, and spending time with friends, become a luxury that is out of reach due to constant financial strain.
I took out a loan to start my own business, but it failed. Back then, I did not know about universal laws or understand how the energy of money works. My debts grew, collectors called me day and night, threatening me with lawsuits and even physical violence. The stress led to heart problems, insomnia, and panic attacks. I was afraid to go outside, and it all ended in a stroke. I nearly died, and the bank took my apartment and all my savings. Only when I joined our school did my life begin to change. In just 3 months, I completely freed myself from all loans and debts. A year later, I opened my own business, making handmade jewelry, following all cosmic laws. And another year later, my business became the most successful in the city in this field. But the most important thing is that now I feel happiness every day. I regularly travel to places of power, restore my energy, and practice spiritual disciplines. Now I know that money is energy. And if you manage your energy correctly, your life becomes filled with prosperity.
In the pursuit of happiness, many people decide to take out a loan for purchases they believe will improve their lives. This could be a new home, a car, expensive household appliances, or a trendy smartphone. However, upon closer examination, such things often fail to bring real happiness. After some time, that credit-financed house becomes a source of endless payments, insurance costs, and repairs. What was supposed to bring joy ends up deepening the financial pit. The film Moscow 2017 perfectly illustrates how loans and the financial system can destroy a person's life. People are forced to borrow more and more just to survive. At first, the protagonist believes that this system is designed for convenience, but he soon realizes that he is merely a cog in a machine where corporations control people through debt. The more he borrows, the deeper he sinks into dependency.
I mean, we don't even know that desires can be different anymore. We have been trained to love shit. Want shit and shit.
Trained by whom?
Lenin. Marketing was invented by Lenin. Don't you remember any of this? And now, it's the foundation of the world economy. The great global brand revolution has won. We are all still living in the world Lenin created. It used to be the brands were formed from people's desires. Now it's the people that are being formed according to the desires of the brands.
People living with constant debt are often forced to work more than necessary. And here's what happens. They begin to lose time that could have been spent on things that truly matter to them. Instead of walking in the forest, meditating, dancing, or spending time with their families, they work to pay off their loans. This leads to deteriorating health, a lower quality of life, and a loss of inner harmony.
I had always dreamed of my own cozy home, so I took out a mortgage for 30 years and bought a house. But in the very first month, it literally started falling apart. Not only was I paying a huge amount on my loan, but I also had to spend just as much every month on endless repairs. For the first few years, I managed to hold on, but when the crisis hit, I lost my job. I had to work 2 jobs, see my children only on weekends, and save on everything. After a year, I was so exhausted that I looked 10 years older than my actual age. The happiness of owning my own home was replaced by fatigue, despair, and helplessness. When I joined our school, I decided to try everything the guides recommended: sessions, events, retreats, and tours. I fully immersed myself in the practices, and in just 6 months, I experienced incredible transformations. One day, I received a letter that changed my life. A distant relative had left me an inheritance. I sold my old house for a good price, and following the guide's recommendations, I invested not in another mortgage, but in spiritual development. I started spending more time in nature and the forest, replenishing my energy. And that was when a benefactor appeared in my life. This person simply gifted me my dream home in a beautiful place surrounded by nature. And finally, I was able to pursue what I truly loved, creating exquisite dishes, cakes, and pastries to order. My business quickly became successful. And the most amazing part, I did not spend a single penny of my own money. This is how God cares for those who follow the path of spiritual development and fulfill their mission. Now I live in joy and harmony, and every day I thank fate for this incredible turn.
To avoid debt traps and restore the joy of life, it is important to seek other ways to enrich your existence and study business magic through our events. One must become the business magician of their own destiny and success. Instead of investing energy and resources into loans that restrict freedom and create only an illusion of success, an empty shell, it is better to dedicate time to spiritual practices, nature walks, and activities that bring true happiness. The film Wag the Dog is one of the most striking examples of how politics, the media, and advertising manipulate people's consciousness. In the film, the government, in order to distract the public from a political scandal, creates a fake war with the help of the media. They use manipulations, staged footage, and psychological techniques to make people believe in something that does not actually exist.
Who killed Kennedy? I read the first draft of the Warren report. It says he was killed by a drunk driver. You watch the Go For. What do you see day after day? The one smart bomb falling down a chimney. The truth? I was in the building when we shot that shot. We shot it in a studio, Falls Church, Virginia, 1/10 scale model of a building.
Is that true?
How the fuck do we know? You take my point?
Yes. All right. Okay. And you want me to do what?
We want you to produce.
You want me to produce your war?
Not a war, it's a pageant. We need a theme, a song, some visuals. We need, it's a pageant.
How does this relate to the spirit of consumerism? Just as the film creates the illusion of war, the real world creates the illusion of the need to buy more and more. Politicians and corporations use advertising and media to convince people that without new things, they are incomplete. Advertising controls society by constantly instilling You are not successful without an expensive car. You are not beautiful without branded cosmetics. You are not happy without a large mortgage-financed apartment. Politicians control people through consumerism, offering solutions in the form of loans, special programs, and installment plans. But all of this is a trap. The more debt a person takes on, the easier they are to control. Spiritual practices, such as meditation, yoga, and regular visits to places of power, help restore inner balance and provide an outlet for emotions. Nature, in turn, helps relieve stress, clear the mind, and reconnect with oneself. When we start living under the pressure of debt, we often get trapped in a vicious cycle created by the system, advertising, and aggressive consumer policies. The spirit of consumerism permeates everything. For example, in the film The Glasses, the protagonist decides to buy an expensive pair of glasses that promise to change his life. However, these glasses begin to show him that the world he thought he knew is actually an illusion. He comes to see people as they truly are, and at that moment, he realizes that the external things he craved so much do not bring him happiness. When we take out a loan or a mortgage, we go against all energetic laws, as each person has their own amount of well-being. This is not just money, it is health, luck, and happiness. This volume of prosperity is like a vessel that fills up depending on how harmoniously we live. If this volume is small, a person will always feel poor, will experience lack, and their life will be filled with illnesses and misfortunes. But if their volume of prosperity is large, they will easily succeed and thrive. However, when we take out loans, this vessel of prosperity becomes polluted. Loans, like viruses, drain our energy and attract even more debt, fears, worries, and eventually misfortunes. So how can we bring happiness back into our lives?
I always believed I could improve my life, but one day I made a fatal mistake. I fell for easy money. I received a phone call offering me a lucrative loan. They said I had already been approved. All I needed to do was make a small payment for processing. I did not consult my mentors and immediately transferred the money, even though I knew I should not have done so. But after the first payment, they told me another deposit was required and then another. That's how I lost 50,000 euros, took out loans, and never received the promised money. This was a lesson from God. When we act without blessings and awareness, we lose protection and can fall into the traps of scammers. Only when I turned to my mentor did I realize my mistake and ask for help. I had no money, not even for a lesson. But I started the Flower of Life Marathon, its Petal of Wealth course. I studied every day. I sold everything unnecessary, asked relatives for help, and found a lawyer who helped me deal with my debts and the scammers. But the most important thing was that I changed my energy. I gained understanding. Every day, I practiced rituals, meditations, and spiritual exercises. I started walking in the forest, dancing, and regularly attending events, city classes, and places of power. After 6 months, my life completely changed. I paid off all my loans, freed myself from debt, and found true happiness and freedom. Now I know that abundance does not come through loans, but through proper energy management. Prosperity is not about the amount of money, but about an inner state of harmony and joy.
From an energetic perspective, when we live in harmony with ourselves, we fill our vessel of prosperity with pure energy. When we take out loans, we contaminate this vessel, and energy starts to drain away. But with the help of spiritual knowledge and practices, we can restore this flow of well-being. The events at our school open the doors to true prosperity. We teach how to cleanse your energy, expand your capacity for abundance, and make life much easier and happier. If you want to change your life, start by cleansing your space and mind. Begin the Flower of Life Marathon right now. Practice and study the Petal of Wealth. Through this, you will enter the world of practices and events where true miracles happen.
In our extreme times, when the fate of the entire planet is at stake, it is crucial for the knowledge of angels and benevolent spirits to spread as quickly as possible, globally, and reach thousands of people. In this way, we can change the future of all humanity. Which is why we are addressing you, dear soul of light. Spread the knowledge about our wise books and films. Share links to videos or cartoons. All of this is available and free. Invite women to individual practices, webinars, and seminars. And the Great Spirit of Light will help you and your family. It will direct an enormous amount of energy to fulfill all your desires. Benevolent spirits and angels will assist you and your loved ones in all matters. A thread of light and love extends from your heart to the hearts of thirsty women, and the creation of good and the dissemination of enlightened knowledge throughout the world begins. Become part of the mission of light. Help people, and God will help you.